So you're talking about beams, you're talking about 5L, you're talking about JS, we're talking about neutral. Right now, we're talking about neutral. And ultimately, I think neutral has been way too thought about as let me fill the box with stuff. There's a screen, and I need stuff in the screen. Otherwise, I'm not playing neutral. I need to be doing stuff. Otherwise, I'm not playing neutral. This character has good neutral because this character can just make a whole bunch of stuff. And like, while on the most fundamental, basic of basic levels, that is true in a way. I don't think the majority of the Dragon Ball community understands what neutral really is, and I think that's a really big problem. Um, After playing a bit more in Sea Otaku, other games like UNIST, I did some Arcana Blood, and thinking about stuff from a little bit more of a spacing perspective, and less about a let me throw the thing that I can vanish confirm off of, which has been absolutely just perpetuating throughout the community. I want to talk about neutral, and I want to talk about it in a lot more of a coming from like a UNIST perspective. And let's got my girl, we got my Orie. I love this fucking character. All right. We are going to tutorial. No, we are on training. All right. So I'm gonna start with Phonon to get my point across first, and play. I'm gonna play some Dragon Ball neutral first, and then we're gonna talk a bit more. Let's get both my girls in here. Let's pick my favorite stage because it's my stream. Fuck you. Okay. So my friends actually and I were talking about possibly dropping Dragon Ball, focusing on like some other game like UNIST, just mainly because there's like some kind of stagnation in the community, and definitely see Otaku brighten my horizons to be a little bit more on the appreciative side, but because I played a good amount of UNIST and watched a good amount of other games, I can get a little bit of an idea of how I want to approach the game a lot more calmly, and how I was watching more competitive UNIST players play, and you can't ID in UNIST, so I'm a little spooked out. But if I were to play Phonon, she has a fireball, she has an air fireball, and if I were to play Phonon with Dragon Ball neutral, I would not play this game at all correctly, although I might be a little annoying. So I get like your fireball, air fireball, fireball, air fireball, air fireball, jump back fireball, fireball, poke, fireball, poke, fireball, more fireball. We throw out more of these, more of that, just stuff. We just keep throwing stuff out. Need more stuff. Oh, cool! I can go. It's like cool. I did stuff. And, yeah, I matched that combo out a little bit. But that's not how I saw good Phonon players playing. Like I saw this girl. She did like that, and then like looked, she moved forward a bit, she prepped a resource, which in this would be like just charging her grid, but she would create a space that she wanted, do a quick follow-up, and then more create a situation that she wanted. So in this moment, I want to have guard here, and then would throw a fireball, and then I'm going to approach, get possible advantage on spacing, but you don't want to just don't just constantly do stuff. Neutral, it's okay to just move and do nothing, and then just I command this space, because that's what neutral's really about. It's I'm commanding this space because my toolkit allows me to, and that's where I want to swap to Orie, and then I just flow right into like the next thing, and then I can go back to neutral. It's fine. And then I'm controlling space. I want individually in each moment to control different space in different ways based on the matchup. You don't have to know every single little possible thing, but you can say, I know that this button is neutral. This button lets me say, I'm at this exact spacing. I lied. I'm at this exact spacing. And I can control, I push back to that space. Okay. So I have this much range. And this will let me be in my sweet spot. This is neutral. I want to be everything I do, whether it's the block string going into it, which I'm not going to set into block, I'm just going to do stuff. Like, notice I'm being pushed back, and like, ideally, I want to be back at this space. I like this space. Because that is where I can start my neutral. I want to center my neutral. I apologize. I want to center my neutral around being at this space. Because that is where my character can perform the best in comparison to everyone else. And I ran into a situation where my friend, he played Carmine. And Carmine throws a bunch of stuff on the screen. But he also has stuff that contests, like, this space. He contests this space actually really well. And my initial urge was, I'm going to jump at him. I'm going to just do stuff. But he has an anti-air. So it's like, oh shit, does the matchup just suck? No, it's fine for Aurier, actually. I would use movement. I would try to either just block, it's okay to block. So that's another thing in Dragon Ball, like, we're afraid to block because we get mixed. But defense and patience is really valuable. So I would say, okay, this is my neutral tool that outranges your thing. It's slow, but if I know you're going to come up and try to get into this range, I can set up a wall. And I don't have to convert into the best, biggest possible combo. What's very nice, I can do that into that, but not at max range. But that's okay, because I can then say, all right, now you've taken a thing, I'm going to move up to you, and I'm going to try and play neutral. And I'm just going to try and use my advantageous situation, and I'm going to stick a button where it's good. And if that doesn't work, I'm not going to fight too hard to get back in or anything like that. I'm just doing combos because I'm pressing buttons, but I'm not going to fight too hard to get back in. I'm not going to try and force this spacing. We are playing a dance. We are playing back and forth, and I want to start off here to do that, or I really would love to get a hit here, because then I can do that, and then I can go like my full nice little combo. I can see if I can get it like this. I need to be close. And then like I can do stuff like I don't want to do a freaking Aurier tutorial on Dragon Ball. That's not the point. But like, yeah, I have my range where I do better combos, but neutral, I want to win it here. And let's transfer that idea to Dragon. I would try to either just block. It's okay to block. So that's another thing in Dragon Ball. Like, we're afraid to block because we get mixed, but defense and patience is really valuable. So I would say, okay, this is my neutral tool that outranges your thing. It's slow, but if I know you're going to come up and try to get into this range, I can set up a wall. And I don't have to convert into the best, biggest possible combo. What's very nice, I can do that into that, but not at max range. But that's okay, because I can then say, all right, now you've taken a thing, I'm going to move up to you, and I'm going to try and play neutral. And I'm just going to try and use my advantageous situation, and I'm going to stick a button where it's good. And if that doesn't work, I'm not going to fight too hard to get back in or anything like that. I'm just doing combos because I'm pressing buttons, but I'm not going to fight too hard to get back in. I'm not going to try and force this spacing. We are playing a dance. We are playing back and forth, and I want to start off here to do that, or I really would love to get a hit here, because then I can do that, and then I can go like my full nice little combo. I can see if I can get it this. I need to be close. And then like I can do stuff like I don't want to do a freaking Ori tutorial on Dragon Ball. That's not the point. But like yeah, I have my range where I do better combos, but neutral, I want to win it here. And let's transfer that idea to Dragon Ball a bit more. Okay, so now we're back to Dragon Ball. Let's, real quick, I have a team on the right. That is the really, really extreme case of quote-unquote neutral. So, I'm Trunks now. Let me throw out the stuff. Look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff. Look at the stuff. The stuff. I have so much stuff. I can just keep doing stuff. There's so much stuff to worry about. Like, yeah, there might be a little bit more of an organization to it, but people just throw out stuff. And then, what's the plan? What space are you controlling? What situation are you hedging for? What space are you fighting for? You're fighting for the whole screen. And that's absurd to me. On a couple fronts. One, everything you do has a cost. Everything has an opportunity cost and a resource that could be wasted if you'd used it. Okay, so I am Trunks. Again. This has a cost. This has a cost. This has a cost. This almost has a cost. This is a very low cost, but that has a cost. That has a very big cost. The price for that is your freaking hands sometimes. So, when you think about things in terms of cost, you think about, I have this, the cost is I have to recover from it. So, if I jump, now you have to spend something like this, or you have to spend something like that to not lose the neutral. You scramble is basically the point. And you're not an advantage. You don't have that left to pressure. Neutral is a gateway to pressure. Neutral is not, I can throw out the most things, look at how much of the screen I can fill. The problem with that thinking and why it's so encouraged in Dragon Ball is because every character, period, has the ability to fight at full screen in some capacity. Even Bardock has a Ki Blast. Even Bardock has Super Dash and Vanish. There is no character. Hit has Super Dash Vanish. His Hit has punchies from full screen. I can't think of this. Videl has Gohan. Every character has something. They don't have to have a beam. The very nature of Ki Blast existing means that every character can fight full screen. So every character can incentivize you to throw shit. Just throw shit. Just more stuff, because if they flinch, you got them. You got damage. You can Vanish Confirm. Vanish Confirming is what lets this game trick people into thinking that that's neutral. That's not neutral. That's a smorgasbord of garbage that did nothing. I mean, you could Super Dash it. It must be neutral. I can confirm. But that's not neutral. It's not. It's not. That is not your game plan of neutral. Neutral, we take it back to UNIST. Neutral is controlling space. Purger 5L is not neutral. But the fact that 5L controls the space. If we go into why. If they reflect it, you can push back pretty nice. If they block it, well, your pressure started. You done it. You won neutral. You block it, you get hit. It's all like there is no good way to be 5L. Vegeto's fine. It's great. It doesn't automatically win you the game. That's committal. All he has to do is jump, kill you on the down. Now you're expending an assist because you jumped. Do you want that? No. You don't. But this is where you base the game. This spacing. Because of 5L. It all starts at 5L. Just like with Aurier's stab, it all starts there. So, why is Vegito good neutral? Let's talk about why he owns this space. And why you base everything off this space. And then I'll talk about getting into that space and why he's good at getting that space. So first off, 5L. We know that's good. 5M. We know that's good. 5H. All of this is available in this space. 2M is available in this space. 2L is available in this space. You can approach in a lot of different ways from this space, but you can control it, is what's more important. It's very hard to contest Vegito in this space. Vegito has to hesitate, or something weird has to happen. Vegito owns this space. He wants it. He paid for it. What if they say, I'm getting out of this space? Because I don't want to pay Vegito taxes. Backdash. Okay. It's a very common thing. Backdash jump. Backdash, call assist, something. Well, while you're backdashing, I'm gonna chase you. This is your backdash distance. You finish it. I'm in your grill. I made you block. I made you block again. So backdash doesn't get you out. That's not safe. What if I don't want to commit for risk of reflect, or for risk of just burning? I don't want to get TP'd. How about that? I don't want to get TP'd here. This space, it's pretty nice. That's pretty good. Well, if we're just outside the space, I control that too. And it's non-committal. And if it hits, that converts. And that's fine. That's all you need. You're done. It's okay to just be done with that. If I get spell combo off that. And with that, and now we have corner pressure. Or we have knockdown pressure if we want to end like with this. Vegito is controlling the forward space. He owns that. Alright, so let's jump. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Let's jump. See how he can cover these points with his movement. Let's ID back. Let's ID forward. You can visualize where those angles come from. Where he can approach, where he can escape, where he can attack. He can most likely escape by floating. Alright, well if you're going to float against Vegito, I've got some news for you. This exists. This exists. This exists. And this exists. I literally just showed you up, forward, 2S, sorry, that's not a direction, direct diagonal, and in front. Every single space can be covered when you have this spacing. You own the entirety of this zone. All of this is your property. Vegito is a monopoly man. He owns everything. You are in what was the meadow? I think it was like the green area. You are in that green spaces. It doesn't matter where you go, he's got you. You're going to have to pay him his taxes, and he's going to tax you by making you block this. He's going to tax you by making you, let's see if we can get Trunks to jump here. He's going to tax you by making you block that, and then Gotenks assist. And that's why why we love Gotenks. Reason number 864. Now I have pressure. Stop jumping, you're annoying me. Anything I do that's not fightable unless you Ki Blast. You have good old Super Dash available to you. You can jump and meet them. Vegito has some of the best air normals. This space is not only your own when you're on the ground, but in the air too. This is a fantastic approach option. This is a good air-to-air. Look at the range of this air-to-air. This can hit a little forward and down. This hits forward. This is amazing of a hitbox. It's hitting below. So we can hit below with this, And if we want to completely deny them the space that they're standing in, this is an absurd hitbox. This is an absurd angle because now I'm covering down forward in front of me, another bit of down forward but extended, directly down forward, directly forward. Good old super dash system. And we didn't even consider assist yet. If I want to approach and I want to make control of this space, because this is more I have assist space that I want to use. If they jump, then kicks will jail into being able to jab. And most people who don't know think it's their turn because it was still in the air and it looks like I catch a lot of people who block that. If they were in the air, like you were -2 there, let's see if we can get the exact number. Oops, a common jump frame. Yeah, there, perfect. Perfect example right there. I was +4. And a lot of people just don't realize that you recover that quickly. And that hedges Gogeta covers him on the ground, and I just have this square taken, and immediately I'm in pressure. And that's what you want to use your resistant neutral for. You want to be going straight into pressure. Neutral is a gate to pressure. If Vegito can control the space, and then Vegito after the fact, Gotenks after the fact, can then turn that to pressure. So he takes the array of control that Vegito has, turns into pressure. A forward assist that has a lot of blocks done like that, turns into pressure. Gogeta Beam, Yamcha, etc., etc. Bardock, it's all good. It all does the job. So, you want that space. But some people want to fight you here. Vegito's fine there. Vegito doesn't want to go, I'm throwing stuff. You don't want to do that. But he does have this tool. And this tool is great because, let's see if I can get a TK off for not being dumb. Notice how he keeps his momentum. So, if Trunks wants to say, give me this, you can say, alright, well, I'm looking at your assists. I can do this to avoid GT Goku, so I'm just gonna super jump. So, I'm just gonna super jump, and now I'm at that space now, to where I'm at my assist pressure space. Just outside that, I clear the way. If I see him committing to something, I don't think I want to Vanish Convert here, because I'm in my space. I can get so much more than a Vanish Conversion off this. He's not gonna do this. He's not gonna do this. That's so much more than I'd get off Vanish. So I'm not trying to fill this here. I'm not trying to get them to flinch in neutral. I'm trying to get to my space to where I control them. That's Vegito neutral. That's why his tool set is good. That's why when you ask me, what are Vegito's neutral tools? I ask you, what aren't Vegito's neutral tools? What can he not use to control space? The answer is nothing. Everything he does control space. It either overlaps, does it more safely, has an option that beats others, like Low Crush. There isn't a single thing. There is not a single button on Vegito's kit. Except that. But, let's, that controls space in some way or another. That is controlling them contesting your space. Everything Vegito does controls a specific angle and allows you to pressure from that angle with the correct assistance. That's why I think this team is good. That's why Gotenks is a staple for this character. If we take neutral and we slow it down, we break it into what we're trying to do, and we don't think of it as let's throw a bunch of stuff on the screen, and we take it and we say let's fight for the zone we want so that we can go into pressure. That's going to clean up your neutral so much more. If all you're doing is movement to get to this, it's fine. You did your job. If they beat you, they outplayed you, they outspaced you, they threw some stuff to deal with, and you didn't block, or you flinched, or you had a little trouble reflecting. I'm not saying it's a guaranteed win. There's so many ways for this to go wrong. But his base game plan doesn't really have that exploitableness, and that's why he's so good at neutral. Because he just has the tools for everything he needs. I'm gonna swap to let's look at Trunks. Let's look at another character with amazing neutral. Let's look at Gogeta, shall we? Okay. Still new. Beams, lots of quote unquote neutral. Where is he missing? I have this upward angle. Do I have anything for the like diagonal forward, like where the 26 is? Can I hit the 26 from here? Can I hit the 26? Can I hit the 26? Awkwardly. I can't really take that like where these black tights here match up. I can't control that diagonal space. I can control forward space decently. I can control forward space. I have good air control of space. Like, his neutral's fantastic. But he has some flaws in neutral. Mainly that forward diagonal space. Vegeta doesn't. Vegeta actually covers that quite nicely. That's a good pair. But you have characters, like, and then Gotenks, very amazing neutral. Forward, 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 air down, down forward. Get that right. That controls different space. Any point. Beam. Great. Fantastic. Supernatural. But still covers space. But can he hit the 26? No. He can't handle the forward, which means if I'm pressuring you as Gotenks and you have the audacity to get out, you can get out. It's possible. There's dead angles. I can't cover directly below me. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do if you're directly below me. Vegito can cover that. Gogeta. You're directly below me. What am I going to do? Dive kick? Maybe. That's pretty unsafe, but it's possible. Vegito covers his space no matter what, as long as you haven't expended the resource, so he always has the potential. Alright, man. I hope that helps you guys think more in terms of how to play neutral as Vegito. And sorry for the long time, but I wanted to go into a lot of detail. I was a little bit redundant, but I wanted to really get things across and why this character excels at what he does so much. I just want to leave one last thing. Just because this character is good neutral, if you lose neutral, doesn't mean you're a bad character. Doesn't mean you're a bad player. Doesn't mean shit. It just means that the matchup was harder. It just means that the player was moving more proactively. There's always ways to improve it. If you lose neutral, just block. It's okay. Practice your defense. Watch their mix-ups. There's a lot of grimy stuff in this game, but you can block a lot, and there's always options to get out if you need it. We always have Spark. Don't immediately try to jump out. Walk. It's okay. You can take your turn back later. Because once you reset back to neutral, you're advanced again. You can do what you want again. You can fight for the space again. Just block. It's okay. No one's going to judge you for blocking. Play neutral. Block when you lose neutral. Get back to neutral. Pressure consistently if you finish your pressure. And you don't feel like sealing your turn is going to work out too much. Because there's always options against sealing your turn. You can always get punished for overextending. Just back up. Play neutral. Play it again. You don't have to get the hit. Just get the pressure again. Just keep winning neutral. If you don't win the neutral, block. Even if you lose the game from blocking, it's better than wiggling and dying. Alright, that's it for now. I'll put out some more stuff later. I don't remotely remember what the topic was, but I guess I'll check later. Okay, bye.